It's time to mind your business with me, Jamillah Lodge. Tune in to find out how to mind your business with BEDC, special guest entrepreneurs, industry experts, and more. Brought to you by BEDC. Bermuda Business starts here. So, Antoine, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
As you know, this is Mind Your Business. I'm Jamillah, and I'm happy to have you here. So we're going to talk about Capsule,
yes,
which is the business you started as part of our summer student entrepreneurship program. So before we get started, just tell me a little bit about yourself.
Sure. It's a pleasure to be here today. I would just say 3 interesting things about myself is I'm a numbers guy.
Okay.
I love numbers. If you understand the numbers behind something, then you truly can understand something. I love to sew.
Okay.
Interestingly enough, something that's a little bit different outside of the normal. And I would say that's kind of what got me into the business that I'm doing now, with a bit of sewing and fashion, bringing it all together into one capsule.
Okay. Look, I love it. You wrap that up all neatly.
Uh-huh.
You're coming for me. I know that's what you're doing. You're coming for my job. No, but tell us a little bit about like what you did and your inspiration before you started Capsule.
Sure, definitely. Well, things always have a way of finding, we always have a way of finding our purpose in a sense. And I would say, coming from Bermuda, I was away studying for a bit in college, and I really got to find my sense of style through being able to go vintage shopping, thrifting. Here, we have a bit of a scene for that, but it's still room for it to grow. So being away really helped me to just find my style in a sense, find what I like, music-wise, clothing-wise, and then I thought it would be really interesting to have this in Bermuda, where if you, let's say, can only spend $20 to $50, you can walk out with a really nice outfit. Or even if you can spend maybe a little bit more, like $200, $500, you can walk out with something really nice as well, too.
So Capsule, explain to me exactly how it works.
Sure. So Capsule is a vintage designer and consignment store. So we don't like to put ourselves in a box of what we do sell. But let's say we have vintage clothing offered. We also have like some designer items, so like Palm Angels, Montclair, different like that. And then also consignment. So if you had like a really nice hoodie that you like, but you don't wear it anymore, you could bring it and we could sell it in the store. Or sell it on our website. Or even like a designer bag that you maybe don't use anymore. Let's put it into the hands of someone who really wants to use it still and you know,
and get
reuse,
you some money for it,
and
right?
There you go, right? So sustainability in a sense.
So how do you source your goods?
So being afforded to be in Canada, like I said, I was doing some vintage shopping, and I actually made connections with some vintage wholesalers in Canada. So at first, I was just buying from them like a regular customer, and then I showed them some of what I do, like graphic design, the styling, of course, and they was like, oh, like, you know, we hit it off. We had a good connection, and I said, look, I'm from Bermuda. We love clothes. We have no clothes.
Right.
Let's fix this.
That's simple, right?
So it just went from there.
Okay.
An idea and then just continuously building on it.
So your primary way to reach your customers is online. So
Yes.
take me through kind of like the ordering process.
For
and what
sure.
you do.
So primarily right now it's through social media.
Okay.
I really work with my friends as well too. So I have a lot of friends here who are in the arts, or whether it be styling, music, and we really just bounce off each other for a network. So we use our social media alongside some influencers locally and then push it out.
Okay. Well done.
So using the social media for sure, and looking to get more on the ground. So like next week, hopefully get to Harbor Nights, hand out posters, so do some groundwork as well too.
Okay. So how's it been going?
It's been really good. It's been amazing so far. Being able to be a part of the BEDC program has helped out tremendously.
Okay.
Like providing the foundation first initially to set off, and then being in the mall, and then also Harbor Nights. It's been amazing.
That's good. I mean, we're happy to hear that, because part of the reason why we do it is to give young people like yourself an opportunity to get started.
This is it.
And there are 6 others in the program with you. What's it been like kind of working with them? And it seems like you got it. Like you're already switched on. When you started with the numbers, I was like, he's already winning, because sometimes that is the most challenging part.
True.
You know, people don't understand. It's like, I love to do this, but it's like, but you
you
have to make money, right?
It does.
You got to make some money. So that you already understand that, I think is great. So how has it been working with the other young people, some of whom are way younger than you, like
Definitely,
13 and such?
So that's really why I wanted to be a part of the program as well too, was to meet some other like-minded individuals. And I feel like while there is an age gap there, sometimes everyone still has their mind set on what they want to do. And that's really even helped to inspire me a bit too, because I'm like, you know, I'm not 13, 15, 16 anymore. This is what I want to do. And it kind of like reminded me of the younger part of myself too, but also to see the growth from when we started the program to now has been tremendous. Seeing their growth alongside mine as well too.
Okay,
so it's been a good experience so far.
Good. I'm hoping that that they are learning from you as well, right? Because you know, the older you are, the more experience you have, and that sort of thing.
Very true.
So when it comes to Capsule, is this something that you think you're going to continue to do even after the program?
I definitely look to.
Okay.
I wish I could be in the mall forever. It's honestly, this is something that I really want to do. And I want to convert it into not just clothing. So I want to even open it up as a creative space. Okay. Having like a coffee and then also having private events as well too. To just bring in an atmosphere and an overall experience, right? Something that I feel like Bermuda is really missing on right now and we need at the same time.
I know when I speak with entrepreneurs, especially young entrepreneurs, that's one of the things that I think we're challenged by, because a lot of young people, they go off to school and then you experience these new things and you're like, I ain't going back. Yeah. Right? And so we're like, but we need you back.
Exactly.
So that you can help to encourage, you know, our society and our ecosystem to be more creative and more supportive of creatives even. Yes. So that you are interested in doing that is great. So what are sort of your future plans for Capsule? Like after the program ends, are you going back to school? What's the plan?
It's very interesting that you say that about once you get away, you know, your feet are in somewhere, different waters. You're like, I don't know if I want to come back, but I feel like that's such an important part of the journey as well too. Like, yes, it's a big world out there, but I feel like having your home base is one of the most important parts, especially somewhere like Bermuda, where like you really don't have to pay for marketing here. If you know enough people and you're doing the right thing, you can get it out there. So for me, establishing here in Bermuda and then looking outside of Bermuda is really the goal, like the end goal. But honestly, I would say I could break it down in like 1 and 3 and 5 years. So in like a year from now, I would really want to have a location. Okay. And that being incorporating the Capsule and also some local brands as well too. And hopefully a space for creatives. So like somewhere you can sit, grab a quick coffee, grab a quick drink, or bite small thing to eat, and then also shop at the same time. 3 years, I would say I would really be wanting to like expand within Bermuda and then also foreign as well too. So expanding maybe some of our local brands that we have here and opening an offering to them overseas.
Like where specifically in Canada?
I would say Canada starting out.
Okay, because you have that connection.
And then also moving towards UK and United States as well too.
Okay.
You know, and I feel like it takes time. Those places are, I feel like Bermuda, you throw the line over and you get bites, right? Out there, you kind of gotta like chum the waters a bit. Yeah, is it anything there? But once you get bites out in the States or in Canada, it's a big market and you can really scale. So I feel like learning here, perfecting the process here and the business here is amazing. Then you take it overseas. So that's the
3-year plan.
Yeah, that's the end of vision there.
What's the 5-year plan?
I'll say the 5 is really to be offering other opportunities to other young people in Bermuda. So the whole goal of starting this is like, yes, I've had the availability to go away to school, but some people really want to stay in Bermuda and want to create or do what they love. So if we can offer grants or scholarships or funding or even the opportunity to throw an event in our space, then I feel like that's making a way for other young entrepreneurs or creatives here in Bermuda too.
Yeah. So it's almost like social entrepreneurship. That give back element is really important.
Yes.
And is that something that you've always wanted to do, or you just come to understand that, you know, giving back is part of the process, right? It's not just about you.
This is it. I would say one hand feeds the other, right? Like sometimes we're always focused on our growth, but we really have to be worried. Like I wouldn't say worried, but like we always have an impact, right? So what is our impact having on others? And I look at it like this. If you see someone do a backflip, then it makes it easier for 10 other people out there who saw you to do the backflip say, I can maybe do a backflip too. So if I can one, encourage people in a way to show that it's possible, and then also provide opportunity alongside that. I feel like that's a
it's a winning combination.
This is it.
Well, I mean, it sounds great, and it sounds like it's been like a rose walk or a walk through the roses, which I know it hasn't.
No,
I know that, starting a business, there are challenges. Can you talk a little bit about some of the challenges that you may have experienced, and what are some of the things that you did to overcome them?
Definitely. I would say really what keeps me balanced, well, first is trying to have a balance. In life, everyone talks about a balance. Is there really a balance? I feel like it depends on you as a person.
Yeah.
But for me, having a routine has really, really helped me to a routine and discipline, because you won't always have motivation, but your discipline would help you to stay motivated, or to help you to keep working. So it's been times where I've been in Canada and I have to go to meet someone to pick up some clothes, or go to the warehouse, which is 2-hour bus away. And that's doing a 2-hour bus there, 2-hour bus back. You got to make sure you're up in time, have food, and you're going all the way out there. Sometimes I've been out there at the warehouse for 5 hours just picking through clothes, rack, shirt after shirt. I've had times where I didn't have money to get there, and I'm like, okay, I need to do a commission or do something so I can get there. Or I'm just had times where it's just like I didn't feel like other people were seeing the vision. But there's always those moments that you have where it shows like what you're doing is paying off. And it might, like in these days, we're so, we post a picture, we get a like.
Yeah.
We put something in the microwave, it's hot. We're so instant.
We need instant gratification.
So with having a business, I find that it's not always instant.
Right.
You might do something today that may reflect a month from now or weeks from now, and you have to really just keep that in mind, that it might not be instant, but it's working or something's happening.
Yeah. So, even how you described your relationship with your wholesalers, right? You kind of built and cultivated that relationship where they were like, okay, yeah, we could work with you.
Exactly.
Having established like a long-term kind of relationship with them with just purchasing. So I think that's an important thing to remember, is that it isn't the culture, or young people, especially now, I think they were raised with this kind of instant.
This right here.
Now, like, what's taking so long? We need to get it done. So I can imagine that could be discouraging for some, especially when you're starting a business, right?
Yes.
Because we know that doesn't happen overnight. Very rarely. Maybe there's a freak or something like happening where people might actually can get it done overnight. But the average person has to
takes
grind.
Time. Yeah, this is it.
You know what I mean? Can you talk a little bit about, I know you mentioned like your organization and time management, but what kind of motivates you to keep you going? Because when you get to those, depression points where things aren't going like you want, what is it that you use to get you back on track?
That's an interesting question. I feel like sometimes there's different motivators. In a sense, it's always just the discipline that really gets it for me, because like I could have a really bad day, but I could still get what I wrote. Well, I do this thing called time boxing, and I was introduced to it after watching a podcast by Jack Dorsey. He's the founder of Twitter, and Elon Musk was talking about it. And when I wake up in the morning or the night before I go sleep, I'll write down what I want to get done for the next day. And I'll write down the times of when I want to do it. And at the end of the day, I'll reflect on what I done, what I didn't do, what I thought I could do better. And that really helps push me through. And really motivation is just, I don't know, I feel like it has to be in you in a sense. Like I put my heart into what I do. It's my passion. So even if I wake up and I'm not where I want to be yet, the motivation is getting there,
to where you want to be.
Getting to where I want to be. And I feel like, and I talked to some of my friends about this recently in Bermuda, is especially if they've been away in school, they see how fast things move away. If you stand still away, things will happen around you and grow around you. Whereas here, it's a bit more of a safety net. Things do move a little bit slower. So it's like you have to set your own pace. You can't really look around to see what other people are doing. So really that motivation just comes from like, I look in the mirror in the morning and who do I want to be? This is who I want to be. Okay, I need to make that happen. I can't really rely on, I got a text that helps me out. I have to from the morning, just go for it.
Okay. I mean, listen, you are saying stuff and doing stuff that people my age and older have not yet figured out. What you call it? Time boxing?
Time boxing, yes. That's really been a pivoting point for me.
What?
Even if some days you have those days where, like, I know some people journal.
Yeah.
Whatever it is that you do, sometimes you have those days where you slack off on it. And I use those days as the most important because if I don't time box for a day, I'll see how
the difference.
The difference, and I'll be like, okay, this is why I do this.
Right.
So let me get back into track with that.
Right.
And I feel like a big part of being an entrepreneur or even just reaching a goal is not being easy on yourself, but being understandable with yourself, right? Mm-hmm. Because you're still going through things, you're still dealing with life, so you have to.
How old you say you are again? Because I'm like, this dude over here dropping knowledge. He getting all philosophical.
It's just like,
is awesome.
I'm 21. I just went 22 on Cup Match.
On Cup Match.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, it's just, I do a bit of reading as well, too. So I just like to have that balance and get that experience. That's what helps me out.
Yeah. I'm like, let me read time boxing. I'm going to look at Jack Dorsey. No, I think it's great that you at this young age kind of have figured out what helps you to deliver on whatever those goals you set for yourself. Yeah. That is really, really great. And as an entrepreneur, it's going to take you far because nobody's going to get up and be like, hey, this is what you need to do, right? You are that person. So that you already have kind of a system in place for how to do that and how to motivate yourself and get yourself on track. Man, you winning already. So the Summer Student Entrepreneurship Program, what made you apply?
So last year, I had a friend who was actually in the program.
Okay, who was it?
Vinny.
Okay.
He done a clothing brand as well with you guys.
Yes.
And I saw the process from start to beginning and also what he was posting. And I was like, this looks really interesting. At the time, I wasn't here last summer, but I saw what was happening.
Okay.
I saw being at City Hall. I saw just the opportunity as well, too. And I reached out to him one day and I was like, bro, like, what's this program that you was involved in, Yeah. And he broke it down for me a bit. And I was like, okay, I need to get involved. Okay. And I knew that I wasn't working this summer, so I would have the flexibility. And I wanted to go 100% into the business as it was. So I said, this is perfect. It's flexible, but it also is a foundation.
Right.
So
great. Well, I'm so happy that you spoke to him and that you joined in because really that's what we're trying to do, right? We want to create or help to create the next entrepreneurs, the next game changers, right? And with Capsule, I think that you can do that. If you actually achieve some of the things that you said you want to, then that's exactly what you're going to be doing. You're going to be changing the game for others that come behind you. So on that note, for someone who maybe hasn't considered entrepreneurship as a young person, or has, but they're on the fence.
Right.
And they're like, I don't know, should I take the leap? Right.
Yeah.
My mom gives me an allowance, or, this is comfortable, right?
Yeah.
What words of encouragement would you give to them to consider taking the leap?
I would say you never really know what you're capable of until you try.
Right.
So if you love something or want to go into something, I would say put your best foot forward and then do it with everything that you have. Right. And if it works out, it works. If it doesn't, learn from it. Don't just put it down and say, okay, it didn't work. Why didn't it work?
Right.
Is it something that you want to continue or do you want to pivot? But I would say really just to put your best foot forward and go for it.
Yeah. And I would agree with you. I tell people, like, the worst thing to do is to not try.
This is it. Because you never know what could have came out of it.
Exactly. And then you be kicking yourself when you get my age, be like, dang, remember that time I had that idea? Somebody else did it, and now they blew up.
This is it.
I do want to talk to you a little bit about the passion, because you mentioned it a couple of times, and I see you get excited when you talk about Capsule and the opportunities that exist for you and for other creatives.
For sure.
Do you think passion is a necessary kind of characteristic or need when it comes to entrepreneurship?
I would say yes, and not even just for entrepreneurship, but anything you do, right?
Okay.
Even if you work a job, to an extent, you have to like what you do
Right.
at least. If not, showing up every day would be so hard.
Right.
So it's like, and I know, and put it this way, some people work a job and then they say to themselves, like, I want to get this done, but they don't show up for themselves.
Right.
So do you love what you do, or is it what you're doing currently taken away from what you love to do? But I would say passion plays a big part because, like you said, no one's really going to push you to say, like, this is what you need to do. So to get ahead, you really need to have that drive coming from within that's like, okay, I wake up this morning, I might not really want to do it, but this is what I need to do.
Right.
Or sometimes it's just that passion that helps click ideas that it's genuine. You know, it's not forced, it's just genuine and it flows. So that passion really helps
to
with
drive.
This is it. If you don't have it, you'll find yourself maybe procrastinating or putting things off or not even wanting to do it. So I would say make sure that passion's in check. Check that passion box first and then go ahead with what you want to do.
So let me ask you this, because I think you've identified a gap, I guess, in the clothing market and in Bermuda specifically. So you have the passion, you like this thing. How did you determine that what you were passionate about, somebody would actually pay you for? How did you figure that out? Because I think that is a piece sometimes that people miss. They'd be like, I like it, I'm going to do it anyway. And you're like, but
it's got to work.
Nobody wants what you're doing. So how did you align the two, the passion with, finding that gap and the demand and making sure that there was demand, I should say?
Well, I like going back to what we said, you never know until you try.
Yeah.
And I had seen how clothing, like, one, from being in Bermuda personally, I saw how hard it was to shop and also the lack of certain options here, right? So then I would just ask some friends, or when friends would come to Canada, I would see the way that they would shop or start buying new things or styling different things. And majority of my friends right now either thrift or vintage shop. Like, I have some friends who don't even buy new stuff anymore.
That would be me.
So I feel like something has shifted where instead of going to a traditional retail store, we would go to a vintage store or to a thrift store and find something that we could repurpose or use again or even drop some of our own stuff off there, right? So it was just really looking, if you're looking for opportunity, you'll find opportunity.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a red car, you'll spot one.
Right.
So it was just having that open-minded towards, like, this is what I want to do. Can it work? Let me see.
Right.
And then I just said, okay, it's enough of this. Let's just take the leap of faith. And I wouldn't even say a leap of faith, but it was a calculated move in terms of, like, I think this could work. Let's put my best foot forward and then see how it goes.
And I think what you said in terms of calculated is important, because a lot of times people are like, well, I don't want to do it because what if it doesn't work? Right. And then I'm going to just be out here, trying to tread water, sinking. But I do think that there is an opportunity for you to test, right?
Yes.
To see if there is something there and see if there is a demand for it. And then if there isn't, then like you say, you can pivot and switch to something else. But I think you're absolutely right. I think fast fashion where everybody's wearing the same thing. I was at Cup Match. I saw 3 girls in the same.
Yeah, it's kind of like.
I was like, whoops. Yeah. And y'all was like right in the same circle. I was like, you might as well just take a group picture and be like, we are the new Pointer Sisters, do a dance move or something, because.
That's not working. See, and that just goes right back to it. You want to be different, right?
Yeah.
And it gives you that opportunity to be different. In a place that's so small, things like that happen.
Yeah.
So. And
you can create your own look. Now, with Capsule, you said so it's the styling, it's the selection of, but you also, do you kind of zhuzh up the clothes and do all that kind of stuff too? Because you said you could sew.
Yes. So I'm taught myself with the sewing. So I'm still learning right now. I'm really good with denim.
Okay.
I do tailoring on denim. I could take a pair of jeans and turn it into like a bag or a tote bag.
I see you.
And I'm looking to get a little better with like shirts and adjustments with tailoring like that.
Okay.
I really got into sewing because some stuff wouldn't fit me. Right. I'm like, so I said, like, if I could do this, it might work. And then that's how I got into it. So we're looking to even work with other local artists. So like, let's say there's a slight stain on something.
Right.
Maybe we can paint over it and then turn the pants or the shirt into like a piece of art instead of just a stained shirt.
Right.
So really just giving things if not a new life, then an extended life period. Instead of just trashing it or never wearing it again.
I love that. I mean, like, I'm an avid thrifter. Like, I literally cannot purchase something new anymore. What happened? Like, I'm like, I go in, I'm like,
no, not
I
really
gotta go.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
That's good, though. That's good. Honestly, that's really good.
Because, I mean, if you think about it, when we talk about fast fashion, you have all of that excess, and it's just, and literally, it ain't gonna last, right? And so I find the benefit of thrifting is you could actually find some really quality pieces that maybe you may not have been able to afford when it was new.
This is it.
But now you have it, and like you said, you can repurpose it and everything. So I think you're on to something, young man.
It's true. I'm even like True Religions.
Yeah.
I remember when they was like $300 a
Yes.
pair. Now, like, I could get True Religions for like close to like $20, $50 and then make something out of it.
Yeah.
Or even put those back out onto the market for a more affordable price. So it's true. It's true. And fashion goes in cycles anyway. So
you're
something may not be cool now. It was cool 5 years ago, and in 5 years from now, it might be cool again.
Like the fact that mom jeans are in, I'm like, really? And that's the thing.
Yeah.
So you're absolutely right. It comes in cycles. And so you just have to be like in the right place at the right time.
This is it.
And like you said, identify that opportunity so that you could take advantage of it.
Very true.
Well, I'm really excited for you. If people are interested in finding out what you have and how to reach you, like, what are your socials, Insta handles, and all that good stuff?
For sure. So primarily we're on Instagram right now. You can find us on Instagram at capsule.bm, and our website will be launching soon as well too. And it's the same thing, capsule.bm. And also we have a clothing brand local that we do as well too called Distinct Collectives.
Oh yes.
So you can tap into us with Distinct Collectives as well too. We work with local artists and do collaborations as well, and our drops are limited. So you won't see too much people walking around and stuff that
the
you
same
find from us.
You're not gonna get that cupcake
this is it.
dress situation.
This is it. And if you're in the same place with one or two other people who are wearing it, you all are like, okay, like I got in, right? So definitely tap in with us. We love to network and meet new people in Bermuda. And even if you're an artist or anything like that, please reach out to us and maybe we could do something.
That is awesome. I think that what you're doing is great. And I can definitely see how it could scale outside of Bermuda, right?
Yeah.
And so would you do that physically? Are you looking to create physical stores, or would you focus on building an online kind of presence to scale out?
Right. At the moment, I'm not 100% sure. I would say it really depends how things work out in the next couple years. Having a couple like physical stores would be amazing, would be ideal. But I would say if we don't have, like, for example, in Toronto, we don't have a physical store,
right? But
we could have 3 stores where we have stuff in those stores, like 1 or 2 racks that we can manage or they can manage there. That would be ideal as well too, and just have placements, right? So, and then have our flagship store in Bermuda, because we want to get people to Bermuda.
This is what I'm telling you.
Like, we want to get people to, celebrities, they come in or anyone come
check out what we're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, I see the vision. Well, I'm excited for you. I want to thank you for coming on Mind Your Business.
No, thank you. I super appreciate it. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, and sharing with us a little bit about your plans. I wish you much success. I want to check out what you got going too. Yes. It's funny. I have a son. My son's 18.
Okay.
And you're absolutely right though with the vintage thing. Like but his style is different. So I'm in there. I'm like, you like this? He's like, nope.
Yeah,
no. I'm like,
so what you like?
What you like? Like, I'm trying to figure it out. But I don't know. Maybe I'll leave that to you. I'll be like, you can check out Capsule.
There we go.
But thanks again, Antoine. I really, really appreciate talking to you.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
All right. Cool. Thanks for tuning in to Mind Your Business with me, your host, Jamillah Lodge. Tune in next week, Thursday at 4 p.m. because if you don't mind your business, who will? Mind Your Business is brought to you by BEDC. Bermuda Business starts here.